Well, hello! Hopefully you can see and hear me. Please do let me know that I am coming through fine. Hi George! Welcome to the chat room. Evening everybody, I'm Andy Gray, if you don't already know. I'm sure you do, because you're here watching me. Hi Kangaroo! Good to have you along today. I'm ill prepared as usual. I haven't really got anything straight in my head about any preamble about what I'm going to do or anything like that, so I am very, very much thinking off the top of my head. Hi Paul, so bear with me tonight because it's just not... Hold on a minute. Microphone a little bit closer might help as well. Hi John as well, the internet collection, alright, still in France, very nice Paul, very nice, it's alright for summer. Evening Matthew, good of you to drop by, right, so, hi Justin, yeah, I'm in my pursuit of life and trying to get things done. I've barely done any editing whatsoever and I haven't made, well, certainly haven't made an image since last Tuesday night, so I thought it's about time to get caught up a little bit. So, I'm going to delve back into the archives tonight and crack on with making some random stuff. So I'm thinking, Justin, who's in chat, I was with him on a one-to-one back here a few weeks ago now. And I've only made one image from the image stuff that I took from that day. If you remember a couple of weeks back, then we, excuse me, we actually did an edit on some of Justin's work right here in the live stream. But I've only made one image so far from the stuff I made. So we're gonna look through that. Good to see you, Robert. Hopefully the missus is doing well. As good as well as can be, like, you know, as well as good things can be. Hi Ozzy as well, good to see you live for a change. Nice to see you back, sir. So yeah, gonna delve back into Lindisfarne. Back to Lindisfarne. I know in the live streams for months we've been to Lindisfarne plenty of times, but I haven't really been anywhere recently to do anything really different. So we're back at Lindisfarne again. So we've got the option of castles, churches, priory ruins, lots of stuff. Maybe an alternative view of the castle. So we'll go for that. But before we get too far in, please do like, share and subscribe and all that gubbins if you haven't already. You know, you can give the stream a like right now and it'll help algorithms and discoverability. So if you're watching, those of you in chat, you can give the stream a like. I do believe the cool kids that do live streams call it a like spike. So there's 19 of you watching right now. So if you all hit the like button now, the video will get 19 likes. That'll be good, wouldn't it? Evening, Paul. And evening, Alan. Oh, well, a little weekly competition winner that we from Twitterverse, from the Twitterverse. Very nicely done. So, right, that's admin. Before we crack on properly, I have wares to sell. So, hit the right button might help. If you are interested in such things, then I have a 2021 wall calendar available for you to purchase, should you so wish. Basically supports me and keeps me going for the winter, or helps keep me going for the winter, for what little money I'll make off it. And you can get it direct from that address on the screen. I've just set up a simple big cartel site just to sell that one product. So yeah, if you're interested in that, you can get them wherever you are. Good stuff. So yeah, also the link is in the description below if you so need it. So yeah, if you're interested. Yeah, it's taken us a while, Paul. Must apologise. I did start talking about that in about July, didn't I? Well, that's only what, October now. You know, we're getting near the end of the year, so it was about, I had to get to it eventually. So yes, that'd be great. If you're interested in such things, then they are available to pre-order. And it may be a case of just I'll maybe only just do pre-orders, and you know, just get however many I need by a certain date, or maybe it's a few extras just to be sure. Don't want to be overdoing myself by ordering 100 and only selling 20. That wouldn't be a very good business sense, would it? Right, so let us switch to some screen, and yeah, just gonna have a quick look through some of these ones, this data that I picked out that I shot with Justin back in August, or early September maybe it was. I can't remember already. It feels like yesterday, but it was probably a month ago. Right, so obviously Lindisfarne Castle, very distinctive shape of the castle there. Some of these ones have got some nice features to work with. Nice kind of. It was quite a bright day, so I am probably thinking possibly a kind of a washed out watercolory kind of looking image. So yes, John, YouTube. It takes a bit of picking up. I've been doing YouTube properly for 18 months, and it's still slow, to be honest. The uptake on it. So just bear with it. Give it a chance. Right. So, anyways, that was early September, was it, Justin? I've lost track whatsoever. It feels like it was Christmas yesterday, but we're nearly at Christmas again. Right, so yeah, I did colorise a couple of these just to see how they were looking. So I have had a quick look at these, but there were some really nice shapes in this little set. Obviously, this was made by turning the camera upside down really quickly in the one exposure. Tricky to do, well, but it's very, very random as well. So, but you can get some really interesting shapes. So you can go very, very abstract. So we might look at something like that. Obviously try to retain as much of the essence of the castle itself. In this one here, as I'm looking at it differently to, you know, this is the first time I've had a flick through the images since not long after Justin left us. You know, I'm seeing some kind of dark, moody sky in this one, so we could maybe do something like that. Could be an exciting one to do. Let's have a flick through the rest. Different view of the castle. Kind of side on, which some people see a bit, depending on where they walk on the island. Some nice movement in some of these. Generally, we were shooting directly into the sun, so you've got to work very fast, and also be almost in motion as you're taking the image as well, just to get that movement. Just due to the bright sunshine that was facing us. So some interesting shapes, and then. These are the only ones I've kind of actually made any images with. And there's a garden on the island as well, so kind of using the flowers that were in the garden to fill in the dark shadow. So it's almost like an in-camera double exposure, but in one exposure. So you would capture the outline, the shadow of the image. So your initial image would be, you know, the horizon line, castle, horizon line, it would be all light up in this in the sky and very dark in this side, and then you spend, say, the rest of the other 80% of the time the frame is open, the shutter is open, aiming at the flowers. So therefore the flowers come up, show up in the shadow area. And it's a technique that you've got to experiment with, and you've got to be quick and play with movement and take plenty of them before you get some good data. But it's quite an effective little technique. But you've got to think fast and move quickly, and just lots of experimentation on how long to face your subject before you move the camera down to point at the flowers. Quite tricky. But it's something you can play with, and it gives you extra options when there's not really much else going on in the frame and in the captures. So yeah, I've made a couple of images from that, which I'm quite pleased with. I mean, like this one, this is straight out of the camera, which you can see the blurry flower, has lightened that area up. And giving it even a nice colour as well. But that's before I've even touched it. So I was really pleased with some of how that came about. More of an extreme example, you can see here that these yellow flowers have really filled in the shadow area. They came out really well. Let's have a quick flick through. Have a look at the ruins. Not great data. I think it was just very bright, so it catches the outline very quickly, to be able to get any motion or lighten it naturally with your movement. So not brilliant data, but there's a couple of frames that would possibly work with there. And then moving on past all the priory, and a slightly different view of the church than what people see. It's got like this steeple type of, well, it's bell tower. I've got some nice data in there which possibly could be used to put together an image. To be honest, I think Justin got some better stuff than me to work with. So yeah, that's basically the ones I'd picked out from that morning. What we're going to look at today, I am tempted to have a look at. So this one's really tempting, is to create some kind of stormy mood type of image. Obviously there's nothing in the foreground, so I'm not sure if I want to dedicate an episode to this because it might go nowhere. I think I'd rather spend some time on my own and spend a few hours playing with things, throwing things at it, just to see how if anything will come about from it. So forgive me, but I think I'll bypass that one for tonight. If I do work on it, I will post it out on social media and all that kind of gubbins, if it's decent, if it turns out decent. So I'm tempted to look at these kind of abstracty ones, put these together and see what they're going to turn out like. And then maybe, if depending on how these go, I might look at the church ones that were at the end there. So I will just look at chat, see what's going on. Edward, yes, I can send it to Portugal. Just any international postage is a £5. So the difference between, like UK, it's included, even though it costs me a canny whack. International is just prohibitively expensive, so just got to add on a little bit more for international orders. But yes, it'll go. It can go to Portugal, not a problem. Blue Pelican. Watch a preview video of yours, and it doesn't seem as though you have a plan of what you want the picture to look like. It seems you just make the most of what you get. Not professional. It's called being creative. Not really. It's almost just collecting snapshots or collecting brush strokes and layering them together and seeing what happens. Don't know if professionality comes into it really. It's not something you can actually just go out there and shoot because everything's so random, the movement and stuff. So thank you very much, Paul, very kind of you. Well, everybody's everybody's got their opinion, that's fine, that's all good. The world would be a boring place if we all were the same. That's what it comes down to. And I think, actually, I think a lot of people do struggle with ICM photography because it's so random, and you generally, I've found that photographers are very technical people, so therefore they like the strategic feel of setting everything up, taking their time, getting as much right as they can in camera, and then only lightly touching things in post. I like getting as much right as I can in camera, but that's why I take hundreds and hundreds of shots, and then that gives me, you know, small marks to work with, and then build an image in post. It's just the way I work. So there you go. All opinions are worthwhile, so I don't knock anybody for having opinions. It's all good. It's all good. We're all here to push ourselves a little bit further, maybe. So yeah, right. So let's see what we get. It'll be a prime example of how random things are. I have got no idea where these are gonna go. So let us start playing, because that's what it's all about. It's just playing and seeing where the data takes us. You know, part way through the image it could be going one way, you know, almost like a fork in the road. One edit could go that way, one edit could go that way. It's all good, it's all good. Shot this at a very high f-stop, so that's not much fun. We'll only get rid of the worst ones that are going to be a pain and show up in extra in later combinations. So we'll just get rid of a few of these bloody dust spots. I will one day get my sensor cleaned. Right, a few more. One up there. I think that'll probably be the worst of them. And that one, that'll do. Otherwise we'll be here all bloody day. That'll do, as he does another 10. Right, stop Andy, otherwise you'll be here all day. Right. Usual lens corrections. We'll open the vignette out just to get rid of these darker corners. And detail, obviously noise reduction to keep the ISO noise low. Don't need any other sharpening or anything like that. Basic is quite, because of how blue it was and how bright it was that day, it's quite a bluey greeny kind of look, actually, how it was. So let's let us change that up a little bit. Let's see if we can warm it a touch. Just simply using the white balance feature, you know, the preset white balances. That's maybe a little bit too yellow. Just dial back on that. Just do it on sight. There we go. Looking to play with the contrast. Just reduce the contrast just to flatten out these highlights here. Good stuff, Justin. Yeah, it'd be a shame to go all the way to Iceland with a horribly mucky sensor and then you spend the rest of your life cloning out all that spots once you're all done. So highlight, I'm actually going to raise the highlights a touch on here. Shadows, which way do I go? I'm going to drop the shadows just a touch. just to keep it reasonably dark. I think I would like to input a little bit more colour into there at some stage. Black's just a touch under. A bit early to be playing with texture and all that. I think this image may well go absolutely nowhere, but you never know. You never know. Right, I think I'll probably do to start. So I'll just sync those settings across. Right then. So that's all set, sorted. I am just going to check these over. Some nice shape in there. Obviously a more distinctive view, you know, identifiable shape of the castle in there. And that one definitely is. Obviously quite bright in there, so this one might just dial back on the highlights. Because I did lift them on that initial one. Just pulled them back a bit, not too much. I mean, obviously we are very much on the right hand side of the histogram, so you'll see up here. So we did shoot to the right for this, but the problem was we had sun pretty much right in our faces. Not easy to work with. Right, and so that's kind of sorted, and let's stick these into Photoshop. See what comes of them. I should give this a second while things load. Alright, keeping an eye on chat there whilst this loads. Oh, I've just cancelled something on my phone I didn't see. Right, we are there. Right, okay, let's combine these and see what we've got. So into the blend modes. I've a bit cycled through them. Missed an important dust spot there. Annoying. So the lighter ones are going to be dominated by the lighter stuff. Right then. So darken is a potential. And then again, multiply, but maybe reduce the layers, like the opacity of the layers. Keep that one strong. Let me drop this one to 50-ish, about 50%, excuse me. That one's alright, this one could drop maybe 70-ish. And I'm just looking to keep this shape here, because if you take this one out it goes really. I like that extension there. Just as a weird funny kind of shape, just to see what it is. Yeah. Right. Just switching these layers on and off just to see what we've got. I think we'll leave that one in. Actually, this one I might just move across a little bit more. That one there. I might actually duplicate that layer just ease and then just reduce the opacity down to the point where I'm quite happy with it, because I'm now just as a in the chat room. If you go to the site and make a shot but the end result is totally unrecognisable of the venue, what's the point? Sometimes I'm making other images from what is actually in front of me. There's a video on my channel, it's an early one, so it's pretty bad. You know, you think I'm bad at presenting now. I was terrible a year ago. There's a video on there and it shows you a range of images, and they were all shot at the end, at the back of my house, the field at the back of the house. And rather than it being a field with a tree, I've input my own spin on things and created images that tell a story, that don't reference to what's actually there. And it's, to me, that's the ideal thing, is if you can take something that's in front of you. I mean, as a photographer, generally you are tied to what's in front of you. You click the shutter, and if you want to strip out the sky, that's up to you. If you want to erase a fence post, that's up to you. If you want to leave it pure, that's up to you. To me, the exciting thing about this is taking elements in a landscape and turning them into something completely different. And that's what I love about this. So, right. No arguing in chat, Alan, by the way. So, right, let's crack on. Just crop that edge off. So I'm thinking some kind of bestial not fire breathing, because there's no actual fire there. But there's some kind of head there. And we'll just work on that and see where it goes. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to redden this up quite a bit. So I'm gonna change the hues and up to red. Where's the paint bucket tool? That's the one I'm after. Got a hue. Just gonna look at some of these, see how weird and wonderful it can go. Bit too weird and wonderful. That's getting nearer. Now let us go for the difference one. I'm going to just reduce the opacity in this. Maybe not. Let's try a different one. Something like that. Right, hue layer. Just gonna play with the sliders just to see what kind of abstractions we can get. We're just looking for shapes. Don't want to wash that out. Don't really want to boost the saturation too much, otherwise you get that bloom. Right, so thinking. Curves adjustment. I'm gonna switch up the blue. Yeah, that's better. Colder blue. Something like that. I don't think this image. I don't really think this is it. This image is going that far. Thought I had a better idea, but maybe it's not quite coming about. I think probably adding the colour in hasn't helped. Trying to get that balance. I would have liked to have darkened it off, but it's not really looking like it's going to do it because it's darkening everything off. The problem is it's going to flatten the colour out as well. Peon cornflakes. Ooh, prefer milk on mine. Right, so we're about there. Let us just chuck this in on Analog Effects Pro and see what happens. Right. I think this is just going to turn into a smudge fest. I may have to go back and rethink. Yeah, I can see me going back to, not quite the start, but near enough. If you don't try, you don't get anywhere. That's what it comes down to. So I'm gonna try these things. These are the things that you don't see when I'm doing, you know, when I'm doing stuff with it, you know, like myself, without people watching. Is you have a random idea and it just doesn't go anywhere. I think this probably would work better if there was some stronger lines, to be honest. Yeah, if there was more stronger lines, like say this line here, to work with and combine, I think it would work better. But it's just not. This image isn't conducive to it. So, in that case, I think we'll abandon current thinking. Yeah, this ain't going anywhere. Right, cancel that out. So we can remove all those layers, condemn them to the bin, get back to this stage, and actually that one can come away. Yeah, I'm actually going to maneuver stuff around to I can move the others around. Others back into place. I know everything else is in that place, right? Okay. So that can come down into there. That layer can go away. I'm going to bring that one to the top because that was the lightest one. I would like to do something more with that one. Soft light. Just purely experimenting here. Get it to about there, something like that. let us. I'm just going to mask this, cut these sides, these lines. You know, you've seen us do it 1,000 times before, and get it the wrong way around. Like so. Soft mask across there. Big soft one there. So there's a bit more oomph in that part there. Actually, now that I've masked it out, can do a free transform. You're just going to look to align this line a bit more into there. That's better. Nearer to what I was thinking about. Still got a nice curve here. A little bit of shape there as well. Looking lovely. I don't know whether it's my monitor or what, but that may turn into mud. A right muddy colour if we're not careful. So just got to watch that. Actually, whilst I'm here, I'm just going to combine these layers. And clone tool, where's that dust spot? Was that one? Yeah, I think it was there. Right, so on here, I am going to do another colour adjustment there, but not with red this time. Back to our normal kind of orangey yellow. Hue blend mode. Drop the saturation, drop the opacity, sorry, to about there. Right. Well, it's nice to see a bit of debate in the chat tonight for a change. So it usually goes quiet for after the first 10 minutes. It's like everybody sits in silence for an hour. So nice to see a bit of debate out there. If you can just remain civil to each other, that'd be lovely. Right, so I'm thinking. Play with. Yeah, I am heading red here, but not too far. Just play with the hue a little bit there. I'm going to Analog FX Pro and see what happens for the next time. Evening, David. David, I think you just need to read the chat. You might have missed something. Right, just going to have a look through the presets. See what shapes there are to play with. Lots of selections. Yeah, I think we will. Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? I've lost it. Where is it? I can't remember. Maybe bloody alphabet might help. Actually, Robert, I think the British are losing the ability to be civil as well with their current political matters. Right. Play with some shapes. It's quite like how this dark area here. I thought I would like it to line up exactly on that line, but actually it just coming in a little, you know, just overlapping a touch there. Quite nice. Quite distinctive. Just play with the balancer a little bit. See if we can go really abstract. Come more one way than the other. Something like that. This is very sketchy paper, like a sketchbook kind of paper, isn't it? This kind of feel. Quite like that. Again, can't drop that too much, just a bit. Good one, Robert. Yeah. Us across the pond used to look back over to America and thinking, huh? And now we've got Boris. And then now, and the joke's now on us, because he's doing the same thing as what Trump's doing, batting it all away no matter what you throw at him. Actually, with that vignette, I'm going to brighten this just a touch. I'm just losing some, not detail in there, but losing, just feeling a bit mud-like. I'm going to drop my contrast. Detail extraction up a touch, or do I leave it and come back to it? Brighten it by a few percentages. Increase the contrast. A little bit more on the detail. Actually, I'm going to leave the detail because it's bringing this shape out a bit too much for my liking. And I might even just do a clone thing in content aware fill in there just to see what it is. Just realised I'm on the wrong thing, so you couldn't see what I was doing on the sliders. Apologies for that. Yeah, right. That's fine. Film track's fine. What I might do is blue. It's already pulled that down. No, it was green, wasn't it? I thought there was a bit too much green, and no, it's maybe not. Just ever so slightly. Pull whatever trace of green in them yellows was there. So I kind of get something like this. Not doing too badly there. So what I'm actually going to do, I am going to actually move the detail slider up a bit. I'll go up to about 11, won't it? And then I'm going to, actually in Photoshop I think I'll content aware fill this smudge out here. Let's see how that works. Just okay that. Come back out again. Got it 8:15 already. Not going to get 2 images out of this one, are we? Right, I was gonna chop that out of there. So we'll just roughly whack that on there. Where's me? Paint. Get that a little bit closer. Something like that. Yeah, you passed. Yeah, that was alright. What for there? For God's sake, I missed a bit. Right. Edit. Content aware fill. Yeah. It's calculating it. Right, okay, that looks fine. Oh, it does it on a new layer now, doesn't it? I haven't done any content aware fill for an age. Yeah, that looks alright. Content aware fill thing does a good job these days, doesn't it? Yeah, I forgot that it does it on a separate layer these days. I don't know, that was probably in about 3 or 4 updates ago in Photoshop. But it's getting better. Right, okay. Reasonably happy with that. Might do some selective brightening and stuff, so we'll have a look in Viveza and play with that. I'm not sure, Derek. I don't know. Can anybody else see something rude there? My little promo that I put on Twitter before we went live, I thought that was quite rude. I can't see anything rude there for looking. You might have to explain it. Or maybe you don't. Or maybe you don't. It is a public area. Bring that bit. No. Leave the colours as they were. I think I might just try, because there's this hard line here on that side of the castle. I might try and put some light into this side so it looks like it is actual contrast. Well, you know, light shining from the right. See how far I dare push this before it starts ruining the structure of the image. Or is it doing anything or nothing to it? I was just a bit bothered that it was kind of flat and not lifeless, but just a bit flat. Alright, phone, calm down. Yeah, about there. Adds in a little bit more of some kind of colour in there, which is fine. Oops. Didn't mean to do that, I meant to do it on that selection. Just a little bit more warmth in there, I think. Now this U-point selection, it only comes in like circles. It'd be lovely if it did an ellipse. I suppose you can do it with a radial filter in Lightroom and then use a selective mask, but I like using Viveza. And then actually we could put another one actually up in the corner maybe. Actually this one, no, I could do this one actually in Lightroom. I can delete that one, sorry. I'm getting lost here. I'm looking at a light, pointing at the bloody screen, looking at a light area on this side and a dark area on this side. So I think in Lightroom I'm gonna like a big fat soft radial filter across this side, just a, you know, it's not quite a night sky feel, but something like that. So light on one side, dark on the other. So we'll okay that. Bake Off's only just started, man, Andrew. I'll have to watch it on catch up when I'm finished. Right, yeah, I mentioned Lightroom, didn't I? Let's not do Lightroom. Right, convert a smart object. I do it now and again. I have a tendency of not. Usually because you've got to sit and wait for 5 minutes whilst it converts it. My machine is so slow. Good God. Right, filter, camera raw. And then we are going to do a big fat radial filter, which is up here somewhere, isn't it? Yeah, radial filter. From there to about there. Exposure down to about there. Feather 70%. Effect is the inside, that's fine. I can lift contrast. Yeah, drop the contrast because that kind of kills the colour off a little bit. Kind of blues things up a bit. Don't want to go too contrasty. Something like that. And actually we could add in another one. However you make a new one. Where the hell's that? Option new. There we go. New one in there. But obviously we're not gonna have that. That warmer. Didn't mention more of an elliptical kind of look about it. Nice if you, I was going to say, nice if you could go off the screen with these, but you can, which is great. Okay, mark that out, zoom out so I know where we are. Go for like a low sunset kind of underneath the clouds kind of feel. Have that right the way across there. Oh shit, wrong thing. No, leave that alone, Andy. Something like that. Yeah, let's see how that looks. It does, Aussie, doesn't it? Foggy morning. I was kind of thinking evening because I don't tend to see many sunrisey morning type of things. I tend to be evenings. You can, Paul? Right. You can message me later on and tell me because I'm lost. I don't know. Right. Yeah. Right. Okay. This isn't. It's not the best image I've ever made, but we've pushed through with it. We tried something and it didn't work. So we've come back and reverted, and it's a little bit abstract and it's a little bit more realistic. So maybe Blue Pelican would appreciate this a little bit more because it's nearer the actual thing that it was. Don't know. Right, okay. Just looking at it from distance, is it a little bit dark? Does it need to be a little... No, we don't need it to be a little bit lighter. Just a smidgen. Just a smidgen. I think we'll just send this back in Lightroom and get finished off. Save that. No way to what? Right, that's saving. Whilst it's saving, Whilst that's saving, I will just remind you, for those of you late that didn't see the start, my wall calendar is available for pre-order right now from that address. It'd be lovely if you would support, if you want to support us, then that's one way you can support us. Come on, 69%, come on. So slow. Paul, if your message is right now, I might read it out on air. Still bloody saving, 83%. Come on, machine. What are you doing? This doesn't feel like it's burning up these days. Right, I'll give that a 3 so I know where it is. I don't think there's much more I can do with this. I don't know, maybe there's a little radial filter in here somewhere. Bit of clarity, less clarity. I thought maybe more would have helped, but no. Shadows up a little bit, and then that makes it not so dirty in the middle there. Done, that's better. A little bit more definition. Grand. Right. This certainly doesn't work in its current crop. I would say this is a much nearer to a panoramic kind of feel to it. So we're going to go for something like that. I think with a vignette would help as well. It's not calibration effects is what we want. Vignette, midpoint there, soften it off. With that, probably just lighten it a touch generally. Just a quarter of a stop. There we are. Colour temperature, do we? Just change that a smidgen into the cooler tones. Now be careful, you lot. Right, so yeah, I don't think we might get one more crop out of this. I have a feeling we might not as well. We'll go for a square crop and just see what. Get that. Not really, does it? Doesn't really work. Too much nothing down here. I think maybe a 4x5 might work if we lift that up to the top. Something like that, and then yeah, I think it's maybe that narrower panoramic crop, and maybe I would to balance it off. I would actually lighten the bottom half, bring the exposure up there. Not that much, just a little bit. Just lighten the bottom of the image, something like that. Grand. That will do. I think that'll do for that. You lot need to get your minds out of the gutters, obviously. Right, that will do for tonight. We are hitting and we've just about hit an hour, or have done. Almost. Lost track. Anyway, well, that's been an interesting episode, hasn't it? Where the hell's the data gone? They're moving everything on these streams these days. I'm sure, I think a monkey with some paint could have done a better job tonight. Yeah. Right then. before anybody makes more horrible comments or the minds go further into the gutter. You terrible people. I will say thank you very much for watching. Do leave the episode a thumbs up. There may well be a thumbs down on the stream already, so please do give it a thumbs up. Give it a like to offset that thumbs down. Yeah, leave a comment after the stream's ended would be lovely as well. It all helps with algorithms and discoverability, because that's what we're all battling against. You know, there's death taxes and algorithms these days. That's pretty much all, you know, that's what the human race has got to deal with these days. So whatever we can do to help each other, algorithms is the way to try to manipulate them as best as we can. So, right, that's tonight's episode, that's tonight's image. It's alright, bit of a struggle, but we got there. So yeah, if you there might be a video out later in the week. Not later in the week because it's Tuesday and I'm busy for the next 2 days at least. There might be a video out at the weekend, or it might be. Things always tend to like, oh, at the weekend I'll get a video out, and then I don't do it, and I'm thinking I'll do it on Monday, and then I'm like, well, I'm doing a live stream on Tuesday anyway, so, and don't want to release 2 videos on the same day. So I tend to, that's why there's not many vlogs coming out, because I just never get around to, the weeks disappear before I've got a chance to do anything, do any editing and getting them out. So, and I've got a few in the can, ready to go. Well, not ready to go, ready to be spliced together. So yeah. Right, I'm whittering on, as usual, always whittering on. And I've got Bake Off to catch up on. So I'll go and do that. Enjoy the rest of your days, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for coming along and watching. It's been a pleasure, as always. Thank you for not being too snarky in chat, you regulars. Everybody's allowed an opinion. You know, just remember that. Yeah, right. I am whittering on. Far too long now. Thank you. Good night. Keep hard. See ya. Now how the hell do you end this again? Where's the button gone?